this was going to be the last year of your life, what would you want to accomplish?
Let me introduce you to the man that taught me.
Leadership and performance expert
Clint, who made a living off of teaching other people to be better public speakers.
NASDAQ, what an honor to be with you here today.
Business expert and best-selling author.
Clint, take it.
Energy comes off as confidence. It helps if you entertain them, and you need them to be engaged if you want to be a great leader.
The marketing of what you do is 100 times more important than what you actually do.
Have them pay attention to you.
If people would just play the speaking game when they talk, they would have more fun, make more money, conquer their fear of public speaking, and have more impact, influence, and income. Invest in yourself and in a mentor.
Amen. Amen, Arunio. How do you feel about that? Amen, Arunio. Look at this one. This is a very interesting one.
There she is.
Yeah, so...
She'll be presenting a couple of more awards tonight at the party.
Got a new career.
And a different dress.
I don't know. That's a pretty good awards dress.
Naked.
I vote for that.
Yeah, take it up a notch, yeah. Yeah, well, as Clint said last night, we just met a year and a half ago.
Yes.
Seems like a lifetime, right, I think?
Yeah, a year and a half.
It does for me, because honestly, I was there at an anarchist conference, which is all about kind of breaking out of your limitations and, you know, just having a free mind and living freely. But what I've really observed in England is that we think really, really small in England. And I've always said that England is a nation of servile serfs, you know, whereas in America, I really see it as a place of pioneers, people that came over and really built their vision out, you know. And so I've taken great inspiration for that, but it's easy to see how programming is still kind of, you know, still lingers in you. And I think that, you know, going to Acapulco and kind of meeting people in the freedom community has been a big transformation, but I think meeting Clint and Ali have really helped me realize that you have to really step into your expert status and you have to claim that. And I really hadn't appreciated that. And I would say, you know, from just kind of having an idea about, you know, the teaching and the things that I wanted to do with Bitcoin, and, you know, Clint and Ali have helped me dream really big and really break out of my box, as they call their event, you know, and it's been a gradual process, but I've really built a business now, and I actually do feel like I am a world expert, and I have really big people in the space treating me like a world expert, and I feel totally comfortable with that now, which is amazing for me. When I say lifetime, it's a really massive transformation from going and feeling really small to actually stepping in to be a world expert.
You wanted to be behind the scenes when we met you.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah, you were an unknown person. You were anonymous when we met you.
I wanted to be completely anonymous.
Yes.
And then Clint said, "How's it going for you?" I said, "Not that well." I said, honestly, painfully bad.
And you came to Impact, Influence, and Income, and you came to break out of your box.
Lots.
No, you were at NASA. No, you didn't go to
Celebrity
NASA. Celebrity Launchpad.
Yeah, I tried to go to NASA, and then I couldn't get.
Share your gifts.
Share your gifts. Yeah.
New York.
Yeah, New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mexico City. That was
break out of your box.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think everyone should do break out of your box?
Yeah, well, I've broken out of my box, so yeah. And it is amazing for me because, you know, I was trying to get in contact with people and they weren't taking me seriously, and now, you know, I have as my peers and my friends the experts, you know, in the world now are my peers and my friends. You know, the people I looked up to, the people that invented the precursors to Bitcoin and everything, I call them every day. And now we're just on a level, you know, because they take me seriously, and that is 100% because of the work that Clint and Ali have helped me with. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let me tell you how we met El Liberté. We were walking down an alleyway in Acapulco in a quote, dangerous neighborhood. Like, you know, we have our property manager who is our, you know, consigliere. She tells us what we can do, what we can't do. But I've done a lot of stuff that she said I shouldn't have done, and I didn't have any problems. And we were at this conference called Anarchapulco, an anarchy conference. You know, anarchists get a bad name. I think it's really a misnomer. Anarchists are really super libertarians. They just don't want to have any government. And you know, I can't say that I blame them. Anyway, we're walking down this alleyway to go to a bar because we weren't even enrolled in this conference because it really didn't appeal to me. It's too beginner level. Instead of registering for this conference, I just found out where the parties were going to be. And we were going to this party at this bar. So there are these celebrities who run this conference. One of them is this guy named, what's his name? I mean, he's such an anarchist that you can't even call him. You can only get him on Telegram. His name is Jeff Berwick. Okay. And Jeff Berwick is the main guy who runs this conference. And then he has a really good friend named Max Egan. And Max Egan runs or owns, I think he more runs. I don't think he really owns it. I think he just runs this bar called The Crow. And a lot of the events that happen, a lot of the parties, like people go after the conference during the day, people would go to this bar, which Max Egan owned or ran, called The Crow, and they would go and hang out and drink and listen to music and all this stuff. And we went to this bar the first night, and as we're walking down the alleyway, we see these Americans, and they've got their Google map out, and they're like, I'm like, can I help you guys? Are you trying to get somewhere? And they're like, yeah, we're trying to go to The Crow. We have to meet Elle. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to The Crow. Just come with us. So me and Allie are walking down the street with these guys. They owned a crypto wallet. They have some crypto wallet company. And they're like talking about Elle. We have to go meet Elle. We have to go meet Elle. We have to go meet Elle. We get to the bar, and then half an hour later, in comes Elle wearing this big hat. And she sits down at the table, and everyone's like, Elle, Elle, Elle. Everyone's like, Elle, Elle, Elle. And I go, oh, you're Elle. She goes, yes, I'm Elle. Elle Liberté. How do you do? I'm like, I do well, thank you. She goes, well, tell me about yourself. And I start telling her, I go, I'm a celebrity entrepreneur. She goes, what does that mean? And I tell her the story. And I start telling her the story. And, I gave her like a 15-minute version of the story because we're just sitting in a bar. I mean, all the way back after I graduated from the Wharton Business School, I went home to my parents' house to get the attaboys, all the way back there. And then like I get to the 15-minute mark and I go, am I boring you? Am I hogging the conversation and boring you? She's like, no, please continue. So I gave her another 10 minutes. And now Elle has done Impact, Influence, and Income, Break Out of Your Box, which is Allie's event, which isn't even on the schedule for this year. She's done New York. She's done Celebrity Launchpad. She's done Break Out of Your Box. That's 5. And she did MIT. That's 6 events. Do the math. Just from telling a story. I don't know if any of you saw the post that I made on my Facebook page today of Dr. Rebecca Hunton. Let's see if we can find that one. Go to Facebook. There I am. Look at this. This is Stonehenge. Those of you who are enrolled to go with us to London. Okay, if you enroll for any event, like even if you just do one event, you get Stonehenge as a bonus. But why would you do one when you could do 2 and get Stonehenge as a bonus?
Hey, Clint, did you put a Coke bottle on top of that stone to take a picture?
This thing right here?
No, that's a seagull, I think.
No, that's the moon.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, he put a Coke bottle on Stonehenge.
No, that's the moon. You're not allowed to touch Stonehenge. They're like park rangers all over. And notice, I'm not behind any chains. I'm right there. We were all right there. That's where you're going to be. You're going to be right there amongst the stones. It's a surreal, once in a lifetime experience. Okay? Make sure you wear a bright color. All right? Look at that. View profile. There I am speaking at the Harvard Club of Boston. See? You guys have photos similar to that now. This is your idol. Margaret, here's your idol.
I met my cousin last night and I sat down in front of her and she was surprised that it was me. I have not changed my physical appearance since she last saw me, but she said I look different and I feel different. She was very happy for me and yeah, you can recognize me.
That's the instant celebrity transformation. See what I'm saying?
It may involve calamari or it may not.
That was one that was nice. But here's this one. Where's that one with Rebecca? Here you go.
Talk about what you were saying.
So the very first time I went to one of Clint's events, Greg Hanna was there, and he was like telling these stories, and we were doing the VIP training, which is you go everywhere, in the air, underground, on the water, whatever. And he would collect people from all over, but he was just telling stories. I'm like, how is this going to help you sell your cyber business? And he's like, that's not the point. The point is to entertain and to capture the attention, because the photo is what matters. The crowd is what matters. And it was true. When Clint would when Greg would tell a story, people would be raptured. So this time around, I'm trying to be like Greg.
See that?
You know the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, you need a team. I don't really agree with that at all. I know what I want, and I know how far I want to go.
It's all about stories. It's all about telling the stories. Every day in your business. Every day in your business, you need to be telling the stories. Because it's the stories that make you a human.
And Clint, these assets that you gave us, they are great for starting stories. I remember, I think I told you guys last time somebody came out of the woodworks and said, I'm a celebrity or whatever. Well, today I'm in another group and they saw one of those assets, and I can share my screen, but it says, so, I told him, hey, I'll be there. I missed a get together. So I said, I'll be there next time. And he says, on the boat. And then another guy says, nice. How did you how did you end up getting your name on the big screen like that? That was a Jumbotron photo. And another guy says, congrats, Nadeem, that's pretty cool. And then another one says, now that you're famous, do you have any stock picks? And then one of them asked me, how I got it. And I told him my mentor helped me along the way. Actually, I said, my mentor helped me along this path. And these conversations would never have happened without these assets. They just start stories. And I could have gone for hours. I was in a rush, but I could have gone for hours with them, just talking about stuff, and probably sold them something along the way.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. To get their attention. Attention is the first step to getting a sale. Without the attention, then they're not paying attention to you. If no one's paying attention to you, you can't get money from them. You have to get their attention. Then once you get their attention, you need to tell them stories about you. Not about your product, but about you. Because until they know you, then you're not a person. And who do people buy from? Nadeem?
From people, from me.
That's right. They buy from people. People buy from people. Yep. Until you are known to be a person by them because of the stories that you tell, then you're just a number. And I want to go back to one thing about this El Liberté thing. It was not on the phone. Do you hear that, Margaret? Margaret, where did the El Liberté conversation take place?
Bar.
In a bar, in person, across a table. It was not on the phone.
Yeah.
The problem with being on the phone, let me show you the problem that you are facing when you are on the phone with a person. You ready? This is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're on the phone with the person, they are most likely texting somebody else while they're talking to you on the phone, or they're checking their Facebook, or they are or looking through their emails, or checking their stock portfolio, or tracking their kids to make sure that they're actually in school and not playing hooky, or looking at their friend's Instagram. And you know I'm right because you do it too, don't you, Margaret?
Yep.
Yep. See, you can't like, look, as much as it's good to do business with people on the phone, like I love to talk to people on the phone. Generally, it's after they're already a client. When you're talking to a person on the phone, you don't know what they're doing. You don't know if they're actually paying attention. Kevin Freem says, I'll come to you to present or answer questions wherever you are. That's what he says. When I was a member of the $25,000 a year mastermind, where all you got to do was attend 3 meetings, you didn't get any videos, you didn't get any celebrities, you didn't get any one-on-one mentorship with the mentor, you didn't get your story created for you, you didn't get to be on the NASDAQ Jumbotron, you didn't get any training, you just got to attend 3 meetings. And if you were too aggressive with your networking, then you got called by the president of the company to tell you, hey, you got to tone it down. You're being too aggressive with your networking. And when I was there, I made a list of the 10 most important things I learned after being part of this mentorship for 2 years. It wasn't even a mentorship. It was a a mastermind, a network where you got to go to 3 meetings. And I made a list of the 10 most important things I learned. And I tried to recreate those lessons. I only got up to 8. The first most important thing I learned was take more vacations. From networking, like this is a big group. Like, at the time there was 200 members at 25,000 each, do the math. And it was all very successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, whatever, right? Solopreneurs, whatever they were. Who knows what they are, right? Who knows? We don't know. What do we really know? What do we know? Anyway, from networking with these people for 2 years, the number one thing I learned was take more vacations. And when I started taking more vacations, I started making more money. Then the second most important thing I learned was take longer vacations. I tell you, when I started taking longer vacations, man, that's when I really started making more money. Here, I'll share this with you. This is it.
Are you going to explain the logic behind that? Longer vacations equals more money?
Yeah, there's a couple reasons why. Here's the lessons, right? Take more vacations, take longer vacations. We're on this one. You see, the logic behind number 1 and number 2 are pretty much almost the same. The first part is most people can't take vacations because they're too tied to their business. They're too tied to working in the business. You don't want to be working in the business. You don't have a business so that you can work in the business. That's not why you have a business. You have a business to support the lifestyle that you want, or at least that's what you should have. You should have a business that supports you to live the life that you want to live. So when you are taking more vacations, that's taking you out of the business. Now, a lot of people can't be out of the business. Well, you have to be out of the business because if you're working in the business all the time, you're never going to get ahead. You're never going to make the breakthroughs that you want. You have to figure out, how do I get myself out of working in the business so that I can do the real work? What is the real work? Well, there's two things to the real work. The most important thing you can do is the marketing of you, right? The marketing of what you do is 100 times more important than what you do. And the marketing of you is 100 times more important than that. 100 times 100 is 10,000. The marketing of you is 10,000 times more important than what you actually do or sell. The most important thing you can do in your business is get marketing of you, building yourself to be a bigger and bigger celebrity, constantly building your celebrity assets. That's the most important thing you can do. Look at my career. That's mostly what I do. Think about why you gave me a lot of money and be honest with yourself. And the reason will be because you think I'm somebody. I'm way more of a somebody than everybody else you know. And there's nobody who's more of a somebody who's doing what I do, teaching marketing. There's no marketing gurus who are more somebody than me. And I'm nobody, but I'm way somebody enough to get all of you to give me a lot of money. And you need to be honest with yourself about that. The second part of it, of what you need to be doing and why taking longer and more vacations is really important, is because the next thing you need to be doing is you need to be figuring out the big ideas that are going to change everything for you. You having one more strategy session with a prospect is not going to change your life. You having one more needs analysis with a prospect is never going to change your life. You doing one more consult with a client is never going to change your life. You know what's going to change your life is the big ideas. For us, what does the big idea look like? For us, the big idea looks like, hey, let's go to London and do another series in London this year. We haven't done a London series in 5 years. For us, it looked like, hey, I'm going to get us a TEDx so we can create something around that TEDx that's going to make us a lot of money. You guys saw all the order forms. You guys saw what the reaction was. These are the big ideas. For me, the big ideas, see, I have a tough business. Linda Jensen is like, Clint, you don't have a business, you have a job. She's kind of right. I have a tough business because I have to keep coming up with things that you guys are going to want. If I were to say, okay, next year we're going to MIT, and then we're going to the New York Academy of Medicine, and then we're going to the Houston Chamber of Commerce. If I were to say that, none of you guys would have enrolled because you already have that. I have to keep coming up with new stuff that's going to make you excited to come do stuff with us, and justifiably so. And this is one of the things that I say about my mentor, Lisa Sasevich, is that Lisa Sasevich failed to innovate. She only had one event. She did the same event for 10 years. It was called Speak to Sell Boot Camp. It was a really good event. She would make a lot of money every year. But after 10 years, she stopped doing it because she failed to innovate. I say you must continuously innovate. If you look at the career of Dan Kennedy, my great mentor, Dan Kennedy, he would teach a lot of the same or similar stuff year after year after year, but he would have a different theme, a different idea. Like one year it was brain hijacking, and the next year it would be something else. It would be a different theme every year. Well, my themes are different. My themes are Oxford and Cambridge and London Stock Exchange and the Royal Society of Medicine. That was one year. Now, this year we have the Royal College of Physicians and the University of London and Stonehenge, and then we're adding some more stuff. And Gordon Ramsay's restaurant for the awards banquet. But this year we're going to have a big celebrity there. I promise you, we're going to have a big celebrity there. See, these are the themes. This year our theme was MIT and Michael Richards, Kramer from Seinfeld. These are the themes. I have to keep inventing new stuff. And it's these big ideas that make me the money. Next is take vacations before your big events. This is really a good one. This is why everybody who's coming to London should be coming on the Queen Mary, because that's the vacation before the big event. Why is it important to take a vacation before your big event? Because you need to be relaxed and grounded so that you can deliver at your highest level for your people. or for yourself. First of all, when you get to London after taking the Queen Mary across, you're going to feel like royalty. You are. It's who the hell goes on the Queen Mary? Who the hell goes on the Queen Mary? You know anybody who's taken the Queen Mary to London before? No, nobody. This is like being out of a bygone era. Okay? So number one, you're going to feel like you're royalty practically. Second, you're not going to have any jet lag. You're going to really pamper yourself going across. You should get a massage when you're going across. We're going to eat well. There's going to be a speaker training on the boat. We're going to have fun. We're going to hang out. We're going to eat. We're going to relax. You know why? You know why taking a cruise is so relaxing? This is really, really a great insight that I had several years ago. When you look out your window on the cruise, you don't see anything. It's just the ocean. There's nothing there. When you're in your room, in your cabin, in your stateroom, there's no clutter in your stateroom. There's nothing. For many of you, it'll be the first time in a really long time that you'll have a week without clutter. That alone relaxes you. No clutter. No clutter.
I need you to talk to my wife, Clint.
Yeah, no kidding. I get it, man. Believe me. So that this way you'll be able to deliver for yourself and for your clients. Now, in this case, your clients are going to be receiving your delivery through the photos and videos that you take in London. Next one, get a coronary calcium scan. All right, this was one that I'm glad I did it, but now I'm seeing that you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't get radiation, that it's actually bad for you to get a coronary
You
calcium
have to
scan.
be a certain age to need that.
Okay, well, I was worried because for a while in my 40s, I was waking up and my left arm was numb when I would wake up. And I called my friend who was a doctor and I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "I think you're sleeping on your left arm and that's why it's numb." So, but I was still worried. And when this cardiac doctor gave a speech at the 25K mastermind, he said, get a coronary calcium scan if you're concerned about having any kind of blockage in your heart that might need you to get, have a heart attack. So I got that one. But I will say this, watch this. I am going to do that. Just I put So there, I'm down to only 7 things that I can remember as being good things from the 50 grand that I spent on this mastermind. Number 5, have more fun. Hey, if you're not having more fun, you're missing the whole point. We try to have as much fun as possible. If you had fun in Boston with us, please type your name and say, I had fun. Please type that in the chat, because if you had fun, I want to see if you had fun, because that's what we try to do. Nadim Azar had fun. Dustin had a blast. Margaret had a blast. Svetlana had a lot of fun. Okay, good. Kevin Freem, hell yeah. Yeah, that's right. Helena had fun. See? If Helena had fun, it was definitely fun. Okay. Next one is this one, getting as close to in person as possible. I would never get a text message from the head of the 25K mastermind. He would always send me an audio message. If he would send me anything, he would send me, he would open his iPhone. You know how you do it. You open your iPhone, and then instead of sending a text message, you go in here and then click the plus in the bottom, and that gives you the audio. And then you could click the audio and you can just send your voice. He would always send that. He would never send text. He said, always get as close to in person as possible. That's why most of you were enrolled by me. Let's see. Margaret, yes. Mario, yes. Nadim, yes. Kevin, yes. Svetlana, yes. Dustin, yes. Helena, yes. Cecilia, yes. Rama, yes. Every single one of you was enrolled by me in person. Every single one of you. You were all in person. It is like 100 times harder to enroll somebody off a phone call.
I think the reality behind that is we miss a lot of cues when we're not in person, like the body language, there's so much information that's missing just in voice or just in text. Text is the worst because you don't know what mindset the other person is in.
It's beyond just that. Remember what I said in the beginning. You don't know what they're doing when you're talking to them on the phone. You have no idea. Also, here's the other thing. Even on a Zoom, you're only getting 4K. You're only getting 4K of me. But in person, you get all of me, and I'm a high energy person. But because of the limitations of the technology, you only get 4K, even on a Zoom. I mean, that's like getting nothing of me. I'm so high energy, and I'm purposely high energy. And what is it that people really are buying? The people are buying your energy. That's what people want. People are energy vampires. They want your energy. They believe if I could get more of Svetlana's energy, I could be healed.
May I add a little bit to your energy?
Sure.
Besides you being such a wonderful businessman, besides you being such a wonderful person, you still remain the human touch. And most remarkable moment during the Boston trip was when we all stood up and hugged each other. To hug the billionaires, millionaires, we missing that in our real life. Nowhere in universe you can find the people, strangers to each other, hugging each other, because we are all feeding from everybody's energy. We have all one goal, to get better. And you as a mentor, you are a driver. And I told you, I tried to analyze what on earth made all of us walk in a New York City up to the knees in a sewer. This is your humanity, your personality, your energy, you being you. Okay, and that was missing on everybody but you. And I'm so thankful that being the part of that herd walking in a sewer up to the knee in New York City, standing under the rain, under their their men's club, which you told never attend. Hugs in a Boston, most memorable, and walking in a sewer. And I told in my speech that that 99% of the people who is with you or with us in New York City could have bought that restaurant without blink, could have ordered their dinner, but we all choose follow you. Trench in the rain, up to the new sewer, marching across the streets of New York City because it's you. You've been leading. All of us wants to get better, and all missing in us, human touch. We want to get that human touch. I want Nadim to hug me, or or Dustin, right? Or nobody can forget Alice hugs. She's such a warm person, right? And to Donald Trump, what he told you, yes, he's a real, right? She's a real.
Yeah,
she's a real
gem. You got a gem here.
Gem.
You got a gem here.
Real gem. You got a real gem.
You're right. And this hugging thing, I've been to seminars where they start out and they're like, okay, everybody turn to the people next to you and everybody get 5 hugs. Okay. That's how powerful it is. They just do it just for the cheap thrill of and you know what? I've actually walked out of that hug exercise at those other seminars. I was at one of those seminars a couple of months ago. I'm not going to say what it was, okay? But I just felt that it was such a cheap trick to get everybody feeling good. And like all these people were so desperate to be hugged.
But we all felt great in Boston, and it was
Yeah.
a different event. That whatever you
Yeah.
cheap hugs. You know,
Okay,
it was a
this
real.
wasn't about cheap hugs. This was about me teaching you something. This was me teaching you. This is how celebrities react with all celebrities. Celebrities, see, the thing about celebrities is they don't know each other, but they know who they are. Every celebrity knows who all the celebrities are because every celebrity is famous and all famous people know all famous people. And so even though you don't know each other, you know each other. And that's why they have these celebrity hugs. And that's what I was teaching you. It wasn't, notice I didn't say everybody turn to everybody else and just get 5 hugs. Ugh, ugh, ugh.
Ach is right. Ach is right.
Yeah.
Yes. After that hug, I reserved the room in Acapulco with Butterfield. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I swear to God, I walked out of the seminar when they were doing that hugging exercise because I knew it was going to be 10 minutes because they do it every day at the beginning of the day. And I walked out and Allie was on the phone outside and I'm like, ugh, they're hugging in there. And I had to walk out. She's like, yep. All right. Number 7, start with something funny. You got to start every presentation with a joke if possible. Like when you're leading us, not every presentation. For example, when I do half-hour presentations, like when you only have 5 minutes, you may not have time to start with a joke. You may be better off starting with something that's going to blow their mind, like I do. Okay? But when I have a half-hour presentation, I will always usually start with, I said to Mick Jagger, Sir Mick, what's the most important thing you ever learned? And he said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try, sometimes you find you get what you need. See, I do that, and I usually get a laugh out of that.
You see, Mike Richards was absolutely unhappy with his gray underwear and his wrinkles in his white pants, right? But I was sitting with open zipper, and your wife, delightful wife, was taping more, tape over my back than anywhere on the floor. This is the story. Or early in the morning, I forgot my brush. Okay, I came to Boston without brush. Oh my God, I need to be ready in 25 seconds. My hair is standing in all directions. I'm going to their, their concierge service, and I said, guys, do you have a comb? I said, oh, we do. They give me this piece of the comb, and I'm going to the bar. Margaret's sitting in the bar, and she's telling me, listen, this comb is not for the black hair. I said, listen, last time I checked, I was not black this morning, but I still don't have a brush. Yeah. And here comes Conrad wife, beautiful, all dressed. And I said, listen, do you have an extra brush for me? And she said, I might have it, but I have to give and deliver my husband coffee first. Okay, I am without brush, without the comb, and I'm waiting for her to deliver the coffee to that room first, and then she's bringing me the big comb, and I was beautiful and ready in 25 seconds, right? Isn't it a good story? Here we are.
Hey, any story is better than no story.
You
Okay.
forgot to say that was like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. 5:30. Margaret is my witness. Yes. She said, oh, this comb is not for here. I said, no, last time I checked, I wasn't, but I have, boom, standing up. That was like this. Or did you remember the picture which I sent it to you, how you try to unzip Ella Bertier's zipper, her zipper stuck in the middle of their Boston. That was a nice picture. Do you remember that, Clint?
I don't remember that.
You don't?
No.
Oh, of course you skip my all. Oh, forget about it. Yeah. Forget about it. Check my messages from you that you try to unzip her dress, and let her ready for the speech. That was beautiful too.
I remember that picture.
The last one is externalize internal monologue, and I learned that from somebody else, another member of the group. He had his own seminar. I paid to attend it 3 times. This guy, I paid to attend this guy's seminar 3 times. Yeah, this guy. I went to this guy's seminar 3 times. Yeah, that guy. This was his wife. There he is with his wife. Yeah, that guy. That was his wife. Look, see, look, it's really his wife. Look at that. Here he is. Now you can see how little he is. Look at him. 3 times I paid to go to his seminar. And it was from him that I learned the shtick, which is what Woody Allen's whole career is built upon. Look at him. There they are in bed. Look at him. There he is on his wheelchair. That's how he lived his whole life, on his wheelchair. From him, I learned lesson number 8, which is actually now lesson number 7, because I canceled one of the lessons. Lesson number 8, externalize internal monologue, which is Woody Allen's whole shtick, which is saying the things out loud that you're thinking in your head about how screwed up your life is. When you start to externalize your internal monologue as part of your presentations and storytelling, and believe me, like, you got to watch stand-up comedy to learn this shit, but this is how these stand-up comedians do it.
Give an example of that. Like what do you mean?
Well, you know my story about how on New Year's Eve of the millennium, I was driving yellow cab number 6087. And at the end of the night, I went home to my little boat in Marina del Rey. I pulled the money out of my sock to count my money. $537? Driving a cab on New Year's Eve of the millennium? Where was Chris Carrera tonight? Partying at the Rainbow Room? I was supposed to be special. See? Now that all of that is the externalization of my internal monologue. I didn't say those things out loud.
Now do Sean Stevenson.
Sean Stevenson's, his shtick is all about his handicap and everything like that. But this is how Sean Stevenson starts his seminar. Okay? The room is pitch black. He has his assistants put his wheelchair on the stage. And in the blackness of the auditorium, you hear the following. Like, this event takes place in like September 30th, August 16, 2:37 a.m. Where am I? I'm on the floor. What am I doing on the floor? Oh, my arm! My arm! My arm is broken! Oh no, my arm is broken again! I can't have a broken arm! I have 150 people coming to my seminar in 3 weeks! I can't have a broken arm! Why? Why? Why does this keep happening to me? That's totally Sean Stevenson's whole entire shtick. He's constantly breaking out into these revelations of his internal monologue, specifically about his own mental insecurities. And if you watch any good Woody Allen movie that he's in, you watch any movie that Woody Allen is in, he's constantly revealing his inner monologue of his own insecurities. It's a whole shtick. And I learned it as part of my $50,000 investment in that thing, in that mastermind. So of all that, that's 7 things that I've learned. And one of them, actually, one of the 8 things I learned was actually harmful to me, because I did get 2 coronary calcium scans. What am I going to do, huh, Svetlana?
What are you going to do with that?
Come on, Svetlana.
I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die from 2 coronary calcium scans.
That's
But
a lot of radiation.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
will
lot of
die 2
radiation,
days-
right?
Will die 2 days earlier, right?
2 days earlier. Okay. 2 days earlier. Okay. Well, you know, What am I going to do?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right.
You fell into the trap of a good spokesman or a good advertisement. You know, whoever was talking, you know, just get your attention.
Well, look.
Human being.
Yeah, I wanted to know, was I sick? Did I have a heart problem? I wanted to know, did I have a heart problem? And one of my clients was a doctor who had 10 anti-aging clinics in Dubai that he sold. And he came to the United States to open his own clinic in Beverly Hills. And I got him to come to Celebrity Launchpad. And we were talking, and I told him I had a coronary calcium scan. And he goes, "What was your score?" And I said it was 16. And he goes, "Oh, squeaky clean. When I got my score, it was 1600. And the doctor put me on the operating table 45 minutes later and gave me a quadruple bypass." So, you know, I at least I knew, like, I'm not in imminent risk of dying from a heart attack. All right. Rama was on TV, and we are going to watch Rama's TV appearance. I have it up here. I'm very, very excited about it. It was Pain Awareness Month with Dr. Rama Wagner. Now, Rama, have you downloaded this segment yet?
Not yet. I just got in from Orlando Airport, so.
Okay, well, you got to download this segment.
Okay.
All right, and here I am, Pain Awareness Month with Dr. Rama Wagner.
It's hard to be active, right?
All right, now, this is a segment that Rama booked when she was at Celebrity Launchpad. When was that?
June, Celebrity Launchpad, June.
June Celebrity Launchpad. Good. So you didn't let it go. Like, September was Pain Awareness Month, and this was your target date. And so you made it happen.
Yep, this was my 6th appearance.
6th appearance. Very good. Very proud of you. Congratulations. Way to make them happen. That's what it's all about, is making them happen. You know, like, don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen and you're not on TV the next week. Most of your appearances will be, when you're coming to Celebrity Launchpad, most of your appearances will be between 2 and 6 weeks later after Celebrity Launchpad, but you can still be pulling them in months later. June, July, August, September. Here we are, like 3 months later, and you're still going on appearances. So here we are. Now, how did you get this appearance date confirmed? Tell us the process.
I used the letters that you talked to us about, and she booked me, I think, about 6 or 8 weeks ago. And then for the most part, they want talking points, and then they have to approve the segment, and then they want B-roll and stuff like that. So I don't know what they did with that yet.
Okay. Well, so you haven't watched this yet.
I saw part of it after, and I'm kind of embarrassed that you're putting it on in front of everyone, but fine, do what you got to do.
Hey, look.
There's no judgment from us.
Oh, there will be in a minute when you see where I choked.
Hey,
we're very proud of you, Rama.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody wishes they were you on TV.
Yes.
Oh, come on now.
Seriously.
It doesn't matter why you're on TV or how you do. What matters is that you're on TV, because you're going to have valuable assets that come out of this appearance. So here we go. Let's take a look.
Right? If you're in pain, but being active might help that. Life just isn't fun if you're living in pain, which is why on this Wellness Wednesday, we want to offer you some tips to ease that pain at home. We're thrilled to have Dr. Rama Wagner here with us to offer some home remedies that we're going to get to in just a second, considering that September is Pain Awareness Month. So welcome to Great Day St. Louis. How long have you been doing this, helping people with their pain?
Well, I'm Dr. Rama Jean Wagner. I'm the #1 best-selling.
Okay, you shouldn't be introducing yourself like that. She's going to do the introduction. She just did the introduction. Okay? But let's see how far you went with it.
Author of the book Journey Through Chronic Pain, where I outline my personal experience of dealing with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue.
Okay, now look at that. You could take this screenshot right here, put it on a canvas, and put it on the wall of your waiting room. Just right there. This is how you do it. Just do a screenshot. Boom. There it is. I'm going to text that to you. You sent me this First Alert 4. That's a good one too, where you're there with the host. That's a good one too. But here's the one that I just took a screenshot of. Boom. That's a valuable asset. Let's continue.
Fatigue, irritable bowel, autoimmune, and depression from living in pain for over 7 years. And
there you go. How about that one? That could be your business card right there. Seriously. I mean, let me show you. I still have these in my briefcase. I don't give them out very often because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 left. Look at this. This is me on the Today Show, business cards. I don't know how many of you heard this story, but, you know, Chris Carrera, right? One day when I'm a taxi driver, I remember this very clearly. One day when I'm a taxi driver, one of my fraternity brothers calls me up and he goes, "Hey, did you get the email about the party?" I go, "What party?" He goes, "Chris Carrera is throwing a big party at the Four Seasons restaurant on Park Avenue. All you got to do is show up." I go, "Oh, cool. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know." And my dad calls me after that. And he goes, and I tell him, there's going to be a party in New York in a couple of weeks. And he goes, "Are you going to go?" I go, "No, I can't go. I'm a freaking taxi driver. All these guys are millionaires and billionaires. They're going to say, 'How you doing, Clint?' And I'm going to say, 'Oh, I'm doing really great. I was driving a taxi on New Year's Eve and I made $513. He goes, "Look, you got to go to that party." I said, "Dad, I can't go to that party, and I'm not going to that party." Fast forward, 2014. I had just been on the Today Show. Chris Carrera throws another party at the Four Seasons restaurant on Park Avenue. I had these business cards made. On the back of the business card, I put some testimonials. First one says, "One day of Clint's training tripled my direct-to-camera sales. Mike Koenigs." As if any of my fraternity brothers are going to know who Mike Koenigs is. Next one, it says, "My secret weapon for positioning. Just do what Clint says. Lisa Sasevich." As if any one of my fraternity brothers are going to know or give a shit about Lisa freaking Sasevich. They don't give a shit about her. They're all millionaires and billionaires on Wall Street and real estate developers in New York City. They don't give a shit about anything. Next, my celebrity mentor, Clint Arthur, Alex Mandozian. Only Clint does local TV training. Davin Michaels. Clint is the real thing. Dan Kennedy. I put these on the business card and I'm like giving out these business cards because I'm like feeling good about myself finally. Now, when I get there, there's a metal detector and Secret Service agents are wanding down everybody. And I see Chris Carrera and I go, "Hey, Chris, what's going on?" He goes, "Joe Biden's going to be the speaker." Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, the one who died of brain cancer, he was our fraternity brother in our house. Okay, this is the kind of kids I went to school with. These were my fraternity brothers. Beau Biden was our brother. He was a few years younger than me, so I never met him, but he was one of our real, actual, lived in the house brothers. And Joe Biden gave the speech. He spoke from the heart. It was moving. And I recorded the whole speech on my iPhone and put it on YouTube. And if you look for Clint Arthur, Joe Biden, you will see it on YouTube. And after the speech was over, I alone I was standing 6 feet back. I was like 3 rows back from Joe Biden. Only I had the guts to make the move and go right up to Joe Biden. And I said, "Can I get a quick selfie, sir?" And he said, "Sure." And here's my selfie with Joe Biden from that night. And I'm the only one who had it. None of the other people had the guts to ask Joe Biden for a selfie, and none of them got it. And all night long, I'm handing out my business cards with me on the Today Show and showing everybody my picture. "Hey, did you see my selfie with Joe Biden?" I'm the only one who had it. And they're all so jealous of me. And believe me, I was not a multimillionaire in 2014. I was still, you know, financially, I was still hardly comparable to these guys. You know, that night there was an auction to raise money for the refurbishment of the fraternity house. And all these guys were donating 25,000, 50,000, 100,000 during this auction. And there was no prizes. There was no, you didn't get anything. All you got was like, all right, who's going to give 25,000? And all these guys are like raising their hands. Where's my Joe Biden? Here it is. Me and Joe. I'm the only one. See? So you say, that's the real Joe Biden. That's the actual Joe Biden. This is when he was vice president. He went on to become one of the 5 presidents of the United States that I have met. I think that's the real one. So all of that came from this little business card, because without this, I didn't have the self-confidence to show up. This is why I say just show up. I know how hard it is to show up. I couldn't show up. All you got to do is show up. You got to show up. All right, let's go back to Rama. See how terrible she did on this show. Here she already has 2 great assets.
And over the last 20 years, I've helped over 7,000 patients to eliminate or reduce pain, too.
Okay, so you just mentioned some of the reasons that we can't just let this go. We have to address it. Let's get right into those home remedies.
Well, there is an epidemic of pain in our country, right? Tiger Woods, Lady Gaga, George Clooney all famously suffer with chronic pain. And if you continue living in chronic pain, you can deal with things like opioid addiction, have failed surgeries, have injuries from epidural, and there's even complications from over-the-counter medications like liver damage, perforations, and bleeding. So I have 4 fun, free, and easy celebrity home remedies that you can do right from your couch.
Okay, we love fun and free. Can you show us a few?
Okay, you almost looked in the camera, but you didn't quite look in the camera. Never look in the camera. Let's continue.
Love to.
Okay, go ahead.
The first chronic home pain remedy is the Jane Fonda phenomenon. So like Jane Fonda, I am in a leotard.
Yes.
And Jane Fonda always started out her workouts with stretches. So we're just going to drop our ear to our shoulder. Now, instead of pulling, don't pull.
Oh, don't pull.
You
I'm
want
already
to
doing
push
it wrong.
up. That's right. Pushing up towards the ceiling. That's going to...
Another freaking great screenshot that you could use. Okay? Now, you could also be teaching this. All right? This is a great teaching segment that you have here. Let's continue. You know, like, all right, this is couch yoga. This could be for your book on a whole chapter on couch yoga. Let's continue.
Release a lot of chronic neck pain. Don't forget the other side, pushing up. Don't drop down, don't pull, push, push, push up.
You see me.
And look at those guns. Look at that. Look at the guns and smiling. Come on, Rama. This is gold right here. This is awesome. Let's continue.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
that
I
feels
do.
really good.
And there's more free couch workout and couch
Wait,
stretches
I gotta
on
go back.
WagnerChiro.com.
I got to go back and
Couch push up.
You see me doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I got to go back and get that screenshot.
Push
for you.
up.
You see me doing it wrong.
Yeah. Release a lot of chronic neck pain. Don't forget the other side, pushing up. Don't drop down, don't pull, push, push, push up.
You see me doing it.
Okay, great. So that's another great screenshot, which I'm going to send you. Texting you that now.
Everybody get ready. It's going to get bad.
All right, well, I'll be the judge of that.
Doing it wrong.
Yeah,
that
I
feels
do.
really good.
And there's more free couch workout and couch stretches on WagnerChiro.com. The second celebrity home remedy for chronic pain is the Arnold Schwarzenegger arm workout. So you're going to take a deep breath in and go up, and as you come down, you're going to drop your shoulders down, squeezing hard like you have bookends.
Was that the problem? That was what you're worried about?
Yeah, because she kept pointing at the trampoline and I got confused.
Don't worry about it. That was nothing. That was nothing.
That was it.
It was nothing.
That was nothing.
Adrian was giving me so much shit. She's
That
like
was
mini,
nothing.
she's mini Clint.
That was nothing.
Throat clearing, okay? You just clear your throat. That's it.
That was nothing.
Nobody even pay attention. You did
That was
great.
nothing. That was nothing. That
It's
was
only
nothing.
in your head. That's where
Yeah.
it's at.
If there was something I would say, I would say, right? I'm not here just blowing smoke up your butt, right? Okay, that was nothing. Look at this. This is another great screenshot. Are you kidding me? Let's continue. Here, I'm going to screenshot that one and send you that one. That's another beautiful screenshot. You look gorgeous. You look like you're in super fantastic condition. You're like rocking that hot body. Nothing. Here you go. Third screenshot.
And yesterday was my 49th birthday. Ladies and
Congratulations.
gentlemen.
Your hands are bookends, and you're going to squeeze and hold for 5 seconds. Do 3 sets of these. And if you want more free couch workouts, go to wagnerchiro.com. There's a bunch there free for you. And the third celebrity home remedy for chronic pain is the Madonna makeover. That's what you're pointing out with this
Yes, with the
rebounder. Now, she loves rebounders, but so do I. And you can go on Amazon.com, and for $29.95, you can go get one of these. Now, don't go
Look at that.
nuts at first. Start out kind of easy and build up. But over time, if you get over 15 to 20 minutes, you can get 10,000 steps done in 15 to 20 minutes. So you can get a great workout, get all your steps in. And if you're like Madonna, you can strike a pose at the end like I do. And the fourth final celebrity home remedy is the Tom Cruise technique. You're going to need your boiling hot water and a hot water bottle and ice. And you're going to alternate.
Come on. Rama, you're awesome.
Thanks, Clint. I'm feeling much better about the little hiccup there.
Rama, please don't take this the wrong way.
Okay.
You're a lot prettier on TV than you are in real life.
Well, thank you.
The camera loves you.
I tipped my head back and I smiled more instead of looking through my eyebrows.
The television cameras love you, Rama. You look smoking hot. Smoking hot.
Thank you, Clint. That's a real compliment.
Every chick wants your body. You got a rocking body. Your face looks beautiful. You got guns. Oh my God. You look amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt, because I don't do that. I will tell you when you're doing stuff wrong. Like when you started out, I told you what you did wrong. Okay? You look freaking awesome in this costume. This is a winner of a costume for you. We had a long talk about costumes last week. This is a winner of a costume. This segment is a winner of a segment. You can take this segment all the way to Good Morning America. How are you going to do that? You have to go on every show in America with this segment over and over and over, and no one is going to deny you. You need to do this all over the country. And then they will hear about it, and then they will put you on Good Morning America next September to do this exact same segment. And by the time you've done it on 30 shows, you'll be so great at this segment. Oh my God.
Woohoo!
20 minutes of heat and then 20 minutes of ice. Now, Tom Cruise loves cold water therapy, and so do I. So I'll just get in a hot shower for 20 minutes and then crank it to cold right after, get a refreshing thing, get the blood flow moving, get edema reducing. Now, you can use this on a chronic shoulder problem, an achy hip, 20 minutes of hot on a bum knee, and then followed by 20 minutes of ice. Okay. So it's a great way to...
And I love how you have the yellow under the pink. I love that. It's not just one thing. I would kind of like, what I would really like is like if you had like yellow leg. I don't know. I wish there was a little more color on the pink, like some blue stripes or something like that. That would be better. If you had like neon blue stripes going down the side, you need a better pink one. You could do better with the pink one. But the fact that you have the yellow one under it is really, really great. Now let's find a better pink one with some stripes or something in it.
that'll really take this higher.
Speed up the healing and get your body moving in a good direction right from home.
Those are fantastic starters. I know that she has so much to share. We've run out of time, but I want to make sure that you can get in touch with her and get those additional resources. Find her book and her proven therapy as well. So to get your hands on Dr. Wagner's book, just visit wagnerchiro.com. She offers those free couch yoga and workouts on her website too. You'll also be able to go back and follow step by step what we just went through by rewatching this segment. It's going to be on our website, firstalert4.com/greatday after this show. Kent.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Standing ovation. Fantastic.
All right. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. This is what I wanted. And considering how you weren't even going to bring the trampoline, you weren't even going to do any of these home remedies. Like one day before, you weren't going to do any of this. And then you're like, Clint, what should I do? And I'm like, you know, because she's a titanium member. Okay. And she's entitled to my direct coaching and input before her appearances. Allie helps her to get some of these appearances. I'm so glad.
I pay for regular ass chewings, guys, but I like it.
I'm so glad that you reached out to me for advice about this appearance, because I said to you, Rama, where are you? Where are you, Rama? Rama. I said.
So what he's talking about, you guys, is the producer wasn't sure which segment she wanted. And she wasn't being clear with me, and she was being kind of all over the place. So I took the initiative based on Clint's advice just to take the trampoline and get in the, you know, yoga clothes and just do it, because I have another segment on pain. And the girl, the host, was like really, like, she was very direct and not really easy to work with that day, but she's looks nice on camera, but man, she was tough.
Okay, you sent me emails. That's what happened. You sent me an email trail. And the last email you sent the producer was, okay, I'm not going to do the home remedies and I'm not going to bring the trampoline. I'm just going to do my pain segment. And I wrote back to you. I sent you a voicemail message. I said, hey, she wants you to do the home remedies. That's what she wants. She doesn't know that's what she wants, but that's what she wants. She's like, I want you to have actionable takeaways for the audience. That's exactly what this is. That's this whole segment, is actionable takeaways. That's why this is such a phenomenal segment. And you know what makes it even more phenomenal is how amazing you look. You're a freaking 10 on this segment, Rama. No offense, you're not a 10 in real life. On TV, you're a freaking 10. You look gorgeous in this segment. The cameras love you. You love being on TV. You were amazing on TV.
I do love it. You're right.
I know, right? You're so happy. You're having fun. You're smiling. You're like amazing on TV. Rama, you need to be on a lot more TV. Not everybody can do that.
Well, I think a lot of it came from your coaching. I agree that not everyone could do it, but as I'm listening and doing stuff and practicing and doing what you're telling me to do, I think that all of the people on this call could do it if they wanted to.
Not everybody on this call could do it. Certainly not yet. Certainly not yet. I mean, maybe they could work up to it. By the way, this was her second celebrity launchpad.
Yep.
Right? And now she's done 6 TV appearances doing the same segment. So you've been practicing and getting better. But I'm telling you, Rama, I mean, just this one screenshot alone is freaking
Workouts
awesome.
on her website too.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Sitting at the edge of the couch. That's
Sitting
what
on
the
the edge of the chair, everything. No nice girl
great,
hands.
smiling, glowing. You're amazing, Rama. Bravo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, of every look, I had one client who was a former Miss America finalist. She's the only one who comes to mind as being as beautiful as you on this
Thank
segment
you.
right there. Way prettier than I've ever seen you before. So,
Well, thank you.
do this.
All right, awesome.
Go on lots of
Nobody even looked
segments.
at the host, but look at the host, what she looks like against Rama.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You blew the host away. And the host doesn't have guns like you. You had the guns. And I love how you were stretching and turning your body, like because that allowed you to flex and show off your muscles. Oh man, this is
She's
amazing.
simply happy. She's very happy, smiling. And this is
Yeah.
generate a lot of energy through the entire segment.
Yep.
That is correct.
Yep.
Yep.
And your daughter is not qualified to critique you. As well-intentioned as she may be, and I love her, she doesn't know this.
Yeah.
And I am not just blowing smoke up your butt. This is all
Well, now I
honest.
have the next time. Now the next segment. How am I going to top that? So on that note, you guys, thank you so much. And Clint, thank you so much for, the good feedback, and thanks for not giving me too much shit about my hiccup there for a second, because I
That
was
was
laughing.
nothing.
Oh,
That was so nothing. That was like less than 2 seconds. And I know it seems like eternity and seems terrible. I'm telling you, it was nothing. Nothing.
okay, good.
Zero.
You
Zilch. No one would
handled
even
it great. It
notice it.
was all in your head. Nobody
Yep.
else noticed it.
No one would even notice it.
Yeah, what you guys will work up to is it's really surreal because it goes so fast because they're so short. And you have to talk so much faster than you feel like you should. And you have to like dart their interrupters. They just change the subject on you. They say
Yep.
they're going to do something and then they just go somewhere else, and then you have to try to make it like your segment, like it's not rehearsed, and it's hard because of that, because it's in real time and it's so fast. It's just it's a it's a pressure cooker for sure.
Look, the only criticism I really have.
I outline my. So, welcome to Great Day St. Louis. How long have you been doing this, helping people with their pain?
Boom. Okay. So that's when you say, well, I myself suffered from chronic pain for many, many years, and nobody could diagnose it. I had to solve my own chronic pain issues. And I wrote about it in my book, Journey Through Chronic Pain. See, instead of, this is the only part that was bad to me.
Well, I'm Dr. Rama Wagner. I'm
You shouldn't say that. She already said that.
the #1 best-selling author of the book Journey Through Chronic Pain.
That should come out in what you're saying. Okay. She said, how long have you been doing this? And you say, well, 16 years ago, I had an undiagnosable, uncurable chronic pain issue due to, what was it for?
Chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, autoimmune thyroid.
Yeah. And these doctors couldn't help me. And so I had a whole huge journey through chronic pain, which I wrote about in my #1 best-selling book, Journey Through Chronic Pain. See the difference? That's what you need to get to. And you will next time. You're going to say that because you learned it the hard way this time.
Where I outline my personal experience of dealing with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, irritable bowel, autoimmune, and depression from.
See, you said it all. You just didn't say it in a way that was natural, responding to her question, which is the real goal of everyone. Look, we give you all this prepared material. Your goal is not to use the prepared material verbatim. Your goal is to use the prepared material in a way that feels natural, that is in response to what the host is asking for. She asked you a question. How long have you been doing it? Oh, well, 16 years ago, I had fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and blah, blah, blah. And the doctors couldn't help me. And I went on this huge journey to cure my own chronic pain, which is the subject of my #1 best-selling book, Journey Through Chronic Pain.
Agreed.
See?
It's got to be like a talking point where I'm just sharing my story.
Exactly. And that's why you need to tell this story more often. That's why you need to use these talking points, not just when you're on TV, but in every consultation that you do, selling a client to become your patient. So that
I'll do it.
you're used to just saying this stuff all the time, telling these stories. Oh man, when I had chronic pain, I was like this, and I had this, and like
From
that.
living in pain for over 7 years. And over the last 20 years, I've helped over 7,000 patients to eliminate or reduce pain too.
Okay, so you just mentioned some of the reasons that we can't just let this go. We have to address it. Let's get right into those home remedies.
Well, there is an epidemic of pain.
Okay, so here, I might have cut this part out. I appreciate that you're trying to put in all your prepared materials, and that's exactly what this is. If you're going to say this part, you got to get through it a little faster, okay? Because you said it a little slow.
In our country, right? Tiger Woods, Lady Gaga, George Clooney all famously suffer with chronic pain. And if you continue living in chronic pain, you can deal with things like opioid addiction, have failed surgeries, have injuries from epidural, and there's even complications from over-the-counter medications like liver damage, perforations, and bleeding. So I have 4 fun, free, and easy celebrity home remedies that you can do right from your couch.
Okay, we love fun and free. Can you show us a few?
I'd love to.
Okay, go ahead.
The first chronic home pain remedy is...
Okay, so look, you got to get through these. You got to do the first home remedy for chronic pain is, okay, you just got to, boom. The first home remedy for chronic pain is couch yoga. Okay, so we're going to do some stretching. Now you're not pulling down, you're pushing up against your head. You're not pulling down, you're pushing up. Okay. And now the second home remedy, when you do these repeated things, you got to get them faster, little bursts of speed. You got to say the words to give the structure, because structure is your friend, but you got to say it fast. And that gives you vocal variety, which is another benefit right there. That's those little bursts of speed, which makes you more interesting as a speaker.
The Jane Fonda phenomenon. So like Jane Fonda, I am in a leotard.
Yes.
And Jane Fonda always started out her workouts with stretches. So we're just going to drop our ear to our shoulder. Now, instead of pulling, don't pull.
Oh, don't pull.
You
I'm
want
already
to
doing
push
it wrong.
up. That's right. Pushing up, pushing.
Boom. I tell you, Rama, very few clients on TV have ever smiled so much at a random stopping point of the video. Pretty much every time I've stopped the video, we see teeth.
Well, last time you told me to smile more, so that's what I've been
fantastic.
working on.
You are fantastic. This was an amazing segment. You look like, you know who you look like? Did you ever meet Lacey, the military helicopter pilot?
Mhm. Yeah, she's gorgeous.
You remind me of her. She is gorgeous.
She's quite a lady. That lady's
Gorgeous.
quite a gal.
Gorgeous. And you know what her job is? She owned a fitness studio. That's how fit she was. And you remind me of her. You look just like her.
So much improvement from the first segment. I mean, amazing job, Rama, and amazing job,
Thank
Clint.
you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sventana.
Really great. And great microphone placement. I would just have tucked that wire in a little bit, you know? They probably were shy about touching your chest. So that's on you to tuck that wire in, because that wire is not your responsibility, but it is your problem. So it then becomes your responsibility. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Great job.
Thank you.
I'm so glad we reviewed this, because tell me the truth. You felt shitty about this appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that, people?
No, no, and no. I refuse to believe. She did an amazing job. But
Can you
somebody
believe
no, I mean,
the way your mind will fuck with you, and even the opinions of your family and friends, as well-meaning as they may be, will fuck with you.
jealousy.
Her daughter's not jealous. Her daughter's just a tough critic. Okay. This was a triumph, and you thought it was a disaster. This was a triumph. One of the best segments we've ever had on Celebrity Launchpad. This was a triumph. Yes.
And Clint, you should be very proud of yourself too. You
Thank
contributed
you.
to this. Yes.
Thank you. I am. I am. What did she say? She said, totally choked today in St. Louis. Please don't make extra fun of me. I tried my best. This is what she wrote. See? With a sad face. This is why it's important to have a coach who knows what the fuck they're talking about. Seriously. Everybody here, it's apparent to everyone here that what I'm saying is true. Raise your hand if you think what I'm saying is true. Raise your hand. Everybody's raising their hand. Kevin Freem, he's done a dozen TV appearances. Everybody's raising their hand. It's obvious to everybody else. You thought you sucked. You were awesome. Now, that's the most warped personal opinion I've ever seen in my life. And that's why you need to keep coming back and sticking around. Really. You did great. You did great. Let's see. You are titanium celebrity launchpad. I don't have you coming back in December.
I should be down for that.
You are entitled to come back and you should be coming back. 12. I'm putting you down right now. Rama.
Okay. Yeah, put me down.
Wagner. Okay?
Yeah.
And good. Good. And the other thing I wanted to say was I don't think it's necessarily a great idea for you to bring Adrian to every appearance.
Yeah.
I know it's nice to have company on your media tour. I know it's nice. Like, believe me, like I tried to show off for my daughter a million times when she was a kid, trying to, every time I brought her to a construction site, there was nobody there. Not one worker was working. There was no workers there. It was shut tight. I wanted to impress her. I got all these guys working for me. I'm paying their salaries. They're building my buildings. There was never anyone every time I took her and tried to impress her, never worked. So you're lucky that you've been able to take her. The one time I was on TV in LA, she lived in LA. One time I was on TV in LA, I said, hey, I'm going to be on TV at noon today on Channel 9. Are you going to watch? And she goes, no. I go, but I'm on TV in Los Angeles. It's a big deal. She goes, Dad, you're always on TV. She didn't realize the difference between being on TV in any other city and being on TV in LA. LA's big time showbiz. She didn't realize that. And plus she didn't give a shit. I was just her dad, She didn't give a shit. You're lucky that Adrian wants to go and is interested in all of that. However, I advise you, you should only rarely take her. You should only take her if she asks, can I go? And even then, you should be like, nah, I got to make it. You'll also find it's a lot easier to travel by yourself.
Yep.
A lot easier.
Yep.
You get in and out of places so much quicker when you're all alone than when you're schlepping somebody along and having to worry about them and all of that.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed. Awesome.
Yep. Okay, good. So I have you down. Hey, Celebrity Launchpad December now has 12 people in it. Okay. I can only take 2 more. If anybody wants to be there, you better let me know if you want to be there, because I have 12 people enrolled for this class and I can only really, I could close it out. Celebrity Launchpad is often closed at 12 people, but because it's at the Villa, we could accommodate 14. Okay. If anybody wants it, you better let me know right away because it's going to be closed soon. All right. That's it, my brothers and sisters. What a great Zoom this was. Sorry, we went 45 minutes over this time, but I just got so enthusiastic about Rama's triumphant appearance on Great Day St. Louis that we had to go really into this. What an amazing segment. We do go over every time, but I'll tell you what, there will be times when I'm going to say goodnight at 45 minutes, but you know, it's supposed to be 45 minutes so that I can get out. But I was having a great time watching and enjoying the triumph of my student. And there's not a lot of mentors who give a shit, let alone celebrate their actual students' successes.
And it's an immense learning opportunity for all of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of lessons here, not the least of which, probably the biggest of which, was she thought this was a disaster, and in fact, it was a triumph.
It was, absolutely.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.